The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. Now, for the better part of today, you literally did nothing. And when I say you did nothing, I mean it. For basically just until now, 10 minutes ago, last 30 minutes of power hour, you sat in a 7-point range to 8-point range on the ES. Relative to SPY, that was basically from 521.5 down to lows of around 520.6, so about $1 range on the S&P. You eventually broke down to our level here that we mentioned yesterday, 519.62. So that is worth mentioning. You're getting a little bit of a breakdown, but that's where we're at now. Now, what I do want to highlight here, though, is your volume, because your volume tells you the story. Your volume on Qs, 23 million basically here in Power Hour. You probably get that up to maybe 30. You go to SPY, you look at what happens there. Again, even with this pretty nice drop, it's crazy that we consider this a drop, to be honest. Like, nice when it's like, yeah, 5 points. Anyways, yeah, 34 million. We're not even gonna hit 40 million yet here in Power Hour. So after hours, maybe if you're lucky, we hit 40 million. Okay, I won't be here to tell you. Looking at data as well to show you how abnormal this is. Your lowest volume day of the week is typically Monday. 60 million volume is your lowest average for the day. Back-to-back days under 50 million, and you're maybe even below 40 today. You'd probably get above it, though. You can see near the end of the week, we tick up, and we're actually ticking down, so it seems. Volume looks atrocious. Now, again, I don't even want to go over this data too much today, because whenever you have anomalies in the market to where things just are completely random or not normal or not consistent, I don't think the data is going to help you. But what I will say is Tuesdays and Wednesdays typically are your red days in the market. Thursdays, Fridays, your stronger days. It's worth mentioning this is a 4-day week because we have a Good Friday. So maybe that's the reason for the less amount of volume. So we did anticipate that going to this week. But again, still not fun to see because you don't get that many opportunities. Now, I go over to DXY and there's nothing really happening here. I mean, all things considered, 4 hour, you're doing nothing. Nada. You go over to the 30-year yield, you're doing, if anything, 30-year yields rejecting, looks kind of beneficial, but nothing really happening there. Okay, crude oil kind of just flatlined. So nothing's really happening broad market. So I want to highlight this part as well because it points to the point of there's no real volume coming into the market. And I'm not saying you have to get good volume in order to move down or move up. You don't have to have great volume. However, if you are really reversing on the broad market, I would expect volume to be higher. Okay. Volume is a great tool to use to understand when you're reversing or you're getting a breakout or things along those lines. So seeing this low volume it doesn't have me concerned at all. If anything, it has me looking at buying opportunities, going in for more dated contracts and ultimately going back into this really strong summer that we had like last year, right? That's my viewpoint, especially when we start to cut rates. So I do want that to be, made note of, things to be considering. Now, I will say you're still selling off a little bit. So when we go into Nasdaq, let's go over some levels you need to be watching, okay? So number one, I'm looking for 18,425. But for the better part of today, we sat in between two ranges we mentioned yesterday, basically 18,630 and then that 18,500 level, right? Those levels held up great. So your next level is around 18,425, then it's 18,372, then 18,277 if you need those levels. Now above 18,630, I believe you push back into highs with ease. So it's really important and makes sense why you're rejecting there because in my opinion, that would lead you to breaking out, which it doesn't make sense for you to break out if there's just no buyers in the market right now. And I will say this right now confidently that you could have dropped at any point in the day today. There was literally no buyers in the entire market. Like there was none. Okay. Worth mentioning, you sat in this range making lower highs all day long. You sat below the VWAP. You chopped through the VWAP for the first basically three hours of trading. So that's just terrible action. So if you didn't trade today, don't feel bad because I did the same exact thing. I literally did nothing. I sat on literally did nothing today, guys. So I applaud you. Okay, I applaud you. So going into the rest of the market, though, I think there's some good setups. I think there's things that I'm going to be looking to be playing over the next few days, if not weeks. So I do want to highlight that as well, and just to make that really clear. So this is actually my second time recording this. I was going to record it earlier, and then I saw this happen. So I was like, let me re-go over this. So first of all, you don't have any data or anything coming out really tomorrow. You have new home sales, mortgages, nothing really crazy. Now, Thursday, the last day of the week is going to be big. You're going to have GDP. You're going to have jobless claims. You're going to have some insight to PCE, but it's not PCE. PCE comes off Friday, and then Michigan data. Interesting, very important. Chicago PMI as well. That will all be very important. Okay, so Thursday is the day that I expect. If you're going to get volatility, it's going to be Thursday. You're going to get volume, it should be Thursday. Tomorrow, it doesn't seem like you're going to get too much, and Fed Waller doesn't speak until after market close. So broadly, that's what I'm looking at there as well. So again, now I do want to go over this before I go into the equities. I'll cover coin. I'm just going to cover Bitcoin just because it has been volatile as of lately. So I do want to cover it, right? Bitcoin, you're above 69.2K. You're still bullish. You're making higher lows from where you made that low down there. So that is also very nice. You bounced again at 61K. That's good. So Bitcoin can hold above 69.2. I'm still net bullish. Now, you had this news today, surprise, surprise, another crypto broker that trades primarily altcoins and memes and everything else. Guess what? They were found guilty of anti-money laundering laws and not enforcing them. Who'd have thought? Crazy. Crypto. Wow. Neat. So anyways, that's why Bitcoin's kind of getting hit here. However, I'm going to tell you right now, I still think Bitcoin crypto has much further room to go. Again, I'm not shilling, just telling you the cryptos that I like. Solana and AVAX, do what you want with that information. Those are the ones I have a decent bag of. I'm not going to lie to you. So anyways, that's what I have there. Okay. Now, as we go a little bit deeper and we start looking at some of these names that I like and setups that are setting up. Number one, Coinbase. I'm going to be really clear, quick, and fast through this. So I'll try to get you out of here before even the 10-minute marker. In my opinion, it's a great, almost if not perfect cup and handle. This kind of gives me the same vibes that we had from AVGO not too long ago. You know, you broke over some of these levels, you retested previous highs. So ideally, I want to see Coinbase hold around 270 and then try to get that break back up. 294 is your next level, but you could really start running here. And I think Coinbase could easily go crazy, right? MicroStrategy, for instance, best stock to compare Coinbase to is literally at all-time highs. So take that into consideration for what it's worth. NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA, I honestly, every time I see NVIDIA dip, I get happy. I really do. So NVIDIA is dipping back down. Not a surprise since the whole market is dipping down right now. What I will say here, though, okay? What I will say. Above 946 is the long opportunity like we had last time. Getting back into 924 would also be interesting. The retest of that level, you haven't retested it since we broke out. I firmly believe NVIDIA is going to test 1,000. I just believe it's going to. Okay, call me superstitious, whatever you will. I still think NVIDIA is incredibly bullish. So when the market does, if it does bounce, I think NVIDIA will be one of your best, if not the best play. Okay, next, I think Coinbase is also great as well, but that's what I'd be looking at. So I'm definitely looking at this level coming down into around 924 and how we react from there to see if I can get a position established and trade it back to the upside. Okay, now what I will say is you look at some names like AMD, you look at names like Intel, and these are names that I thought were going to be bearish coming into the week, but I was just flat out wrong. Okay, I want to see AMD get below 174.7 and then I'll go short. That's your key level. You lose that level, you could drop quick. Intel, kind of similar thing here, but you're holding up really good, so I can't even go short. You got to get below 41.4. If you do, you're pretty illiquid down to 40, if not $39. So top names I'm looking at for downside there, but I got to see weakness get established because right now you're not. Amazon, one of the top names I'm watching as well, and this is probably the only stock that I'm thinking about buying right now as we're dipping. Okay, I like Amazon. Higher time frames going back into, late February. It's an ascending triangle at highs. You're illiquid from basically 180.5 to 186. It has room. Very similar to how we traded it before. I think you have to be watching it. I think it has massive potential. I love what they're doing. And their earnings continue they just go up and up. And their earnings are killing it. Like, they're not getting hurt from any of this pain from inflation right now so far. Okay. So definitely be watching that. Tesla. Looking for this to come back into 175. You gapped up and then you did nothing for the rest of the day. Surprise, terrible action. Not interested in that name whatsoever. Not going to be trading it. AVGO, you have to get above and hold above 1366. You got above it at open and you got sent back down. Not interested. Netflix incredibly bullish. Over 625, I think you're really bullish, but the action today was just bad. So I just didn't trade anything really. So again, I could see you running to 642 and then all-time highs. Meta, key levels are everything. This is the only thing that I almost traded today. I was going to get into it. You were sitting at, I called it on Discord, you were sitting at VWAP and then you just lost it. And it was just terrible action. Anytime that you're just wicking through your VWAP back and forth, it tells me that there's little to no structure overall in the broad market or that equity, okay? But you ended up hitting my target of 510, and then you rejected down to 504. Once you lost 504, I mentioned here yesterday in all the other videos, you're weak to the downside. Kind of went over 10 minutes, guys, but that's basically it. There's a few other names I could go over, but there's just not a lot of action here. Microsoft trending down as well. I think these are all great buying opportunities, specifically in the tech sector, and anything that's been maintaining that strength. I think Coin, Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, Nvidia, I think those are all great overall names in the broad scheme, and I think they'll have upside going into next week, maybe the week after, once this holiday week is over. That's a personal opinion there, okay? So keep that in the back of your mind. I still like the way the market's moving. I think PC inflation numbers will be very big on Friday. I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. See you guys next time. Have a good one.